Hi everybody, welcome to our lesson. Today we're going to be talking about different places around the world, so different cities, different countries, and we also will look at time. So for those ones who can't tell time, we'll have a look at this. But we'll start talking about time and we'll carry on talking about this. It's about how different what different time is in different places around the world. So everything related to around the world. And let's start with our first video. Okay, ready, set.
Sam lives in New York. He works on the banks of the Hudson River. John Paul lives in Paris, in a flat near the Eiffel Tower. Yen lives in Cambodia, in the capital city, Phnom Penh. Sarah lives in London. She likes to listen to the chimes of Big Ben. So many cities in one small world. People live in South America, in Bogota. People live in Australia, in Canberra, in Europe and Asia and Africa. Rome, Beijing and Nairobi, Paris, Calcutta and Tripoli. Natasha lives in Moscow. She walks past the Kremlin in the winter snow. Haji lives in Cairo, the home of the Sphinx, the land of the pharaohs. So many cities in one small world. People live in South America, in Bogota. People live in Australia, in Canberra, in Europe and Asia and Africa. Rome, Beijing and Nairobi, Paris, Calcutta and Tripoli.
Okay, so let's take a look at the vocabulary. So first one, this is a place a lot of people live in. It's called city, city. And this is a river, lots of water floating. And the guy was singing about this. This is the world, world. Good. Then we have a bit of a weather. We know that we should know this one. This is snow, snow. Okay, and this is a big city in England, Britain. It's called London, London. We had this word as well. When we use our ears, we listen, listen. Here we have lots and lots of people, people. So if you go to London in England, you might get to see this building, and this building is called after a clock, and this is Big Ben. This is Big Ben. And if you go to Paris in France, you might get to see this building. This building is called Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower. So this is the Eiffel Tower. And here we have a flag, and this flag is of a place called Australia, Australia. So this tiny little bit here, this is the flag of Great Britain, because Australia used to belong to Great Britain. Now it's a separate country, but it's still part of a Commonwealth. Well done, everybody. So let's listen to a story. It's a little short story about different famous buildings from different cities that went missing and went into the wrong places. So let's listen to it and see, maybe you have visited one before. So if you never been there, then you might not know where it was supposed to be. But if you have, then you'll find it very funny that all the places went wrong. All the buildings went in the wrong places.
Something very strange happened last month. A naughty young giant moved all the world's famous landmarks. People around the world were very confused. He put the pyramids in Paris, and on your left the pyramids? He moved the Leaning Tower of Pisa to London.
Here we can see the famous Leaning Tower of London.
He swapped the Sydney Opera House with Stonehenge. Hey, where are the stones, man? When his mum saw the newspaper, she was very angry.
Kevin, go and put them back in the right place, you naughty boy.
Yes, Mum. So don't worry. If you go to London, Cairo, Pisa, or Paris today, you'll see all the landmarks in their correct place.
Okay, so let's name some vocabulary again. So this first one, if you listened carefully, that was called the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Leaning Tower of Pisa. And this was a giant. This word we know already because this is when you get like, ah! You get angry. Then we have the next word. Somewhere it says news because it's newspaper. Oh, and this was what was in Paris. Pyramids. Very good. And if you go to Australia, this is in Sydney, Australia, and this is called Sydney Opera House. And again, this you can find in England. So London, England, Big Ben, and this is Stonehenge. You can find it in England. And this is the different view, but this is the same word as we had already today, and this is the world. Good job, everybody. Good listening. And let's listen together to a story of a spy cat. So the spy cat was looking for Ratty all around the world. So he went to Paris, he went to London, he went to Egypt, and he went to see different locations and different famous places looking for Ratty. So let's find out what happened.
Hello, Spy Cat. We need your help. Can you find Ratty?
My new super rat virus will destroy all computers. Then I will take over the world.
Spy Cat goes to Paris, France. He goes to the Eiffel Tower. He finds the first clue. Spy Cat goes to Cairo, Egypt. He visits the pyramids. He finds the second clue. Spy Cat goes to Hong Kong. He gets on the Star Ferry. He finds the third clue. Spy Cat goes to London, England. He goes to Big Ben. He finds the last clue. Spy Cat cracks the code. He knows where to find Ratty. Spy Cat finds Ratty's cave.
Ha! Take that, you villain! Ah! It's Spy Cat! Come on! Let's get out of here!
Spy Cat takes a holiday. He's on the beach. Cats are cleverer than rats, he thinks.
Okay, so let's name some vocabulary again. So this first one, if you listened carefully, that was called the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Leaning Tower of Pisa. And this was a giant. This word we know already because this is when you get like, ah! You get angry. Then we have the next word. Somewhere it says news because it's newspaper. Oh, and this was what was in Paris. Pyramids. Very good. And if you go to Australia, this is in Sydney, Australia, and this is called Sydney Opera House. And again, this you can find in England. So London, England, Big Ben, and this is Stonehenge. You can find it in England. And this is the different view, but this is the same word as we had already today, and this is the world. Good job, everybody. Good listening. And now we know a lot of different places around the world, and now we were looking at Big Ben, which was the clock in London. So now we're going to look at the time. So I don't have a watch on me, but we're going to have a look what does everybody do around the world at the same time. So there are different times in different places, and we're going to start on this, and we're going to carry on next time looking at some times. How will we say times in English? So this is for like a little bit for the people who already can tell the time. It might be a little bit easier, but we'll look. So time. What do people do in different places at different, well, it's the same time, but it's different around the world. So let's take a look.
Ryan lives in London. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon. It's raining outside. Ryan is watching TV in the living room. Bruno lives in Sao Paulo. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and Bruno has finished school. He's playing football with his friends in the park. Elvira lives in Guadalajara in Mexico. It's 11 o'clock in the morning, and Elvira is at school. She is having a maths lesson. Logan lives in Anchorage in Alaska in the United States. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, and Logan is having his breakfast. Karima lives in Paris in France. It's 6 o'clock in the evening, and Karima is playing basketball with some school friends. She's just put the ball in the basket. Zainab lives in Doha in Qatar. It's 8 o'clock in the evening. Zainab is doing her homework on the computer. Her mum is helping her. Sanjeev lives in Bangalore in India. It's 10:30 in the evening. Sanjeev is getting ready for bed. He's brushing his teeth. Mitsuki lives in Osaka in Japan. It's 2 o'clock in the morning in Osaka. There is a storm and Mitsuki can't sleep. She's reading a comic. Caleb lives in Wellington, New Zealand. It's 5 o'clock in the morning here, and it's the start of a new day. Caleb is asleep.